Hello, my name is Dave. Today, what I want to do is to talk a little bit about what my intent is on producing these videos. I'm intending that my target audience are the 60 million or so unattached followers of Jesus, believers in God. If you are attending a church, a temple, whatever type of institution, religious institution you're a part of, you have someone that you're accountable to, a pastor, a rabbi, an imam, etc., etc. This is not for you. All right. My intent is to reach and to speak to and to do what I can to help those who are totally unaffiliated and believe in God, trying to follow Jesus. And that's the group that I'm interested in. And toward that end, what I want to do is today is to lay out a little bit of an outline of where I'm headed. There are many societal ills today, as has always been the case in human history. Uh, Today, specifically, what I want to do is to lay out a little bit of scripture and what it means. Zechariah, chapter 1, toward the end of the chapter, talks about four ancient evil spirits or four horns, and he also talks about four craftsmen. I remember first reading about this; it's just kind of baffling. Didn't know what he was talking about, but eventually, I believe I got some insight in reference to the four craftsmen and the four ancient evil spirits. Paul in Ephesians 4 talks about what typically are referred to as the 4 or 5 offices in the church. There's the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, pastor or shepherd, teacher. There's good reason to specify 4 instead of 5. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to say 4 because the Greek grammar supports it better than 5. And we can get that into another time, or you can look into yourself and verify that what I'm saying is correct. Excuse me. Now, in Zechariah, I believe that the 4 craftsmen is referring to what we might say today is, or the 4 craftsmen's anointings. These are the anointings of the apostle, prophet, evangelist, and shepherd teacher. Within the context of Zechariah's prophecy, the purpose of these craftsmen is to terrorize the 4 ancient evil spirits that have been terrorizing humans, basically from the Garden of Eden until now. The 4 ancient evil spirits Paul speaks about, specifies, calls them out in Ephesians 6, around verse 12. Everyone's, if you've read the Bible at all, typically have any familiarity with Scripture, knows this part of Scripture where it says, "We do not battle against flesh and blood, but against," and Paul specifies the 4 ancient evil spirits. He names them. The first one is principalities, it's plural. The second one is either powers or authorities, depending upon your translation. And then thirdly is world powers or cosmic powers. And again, these are all plural. And then the final one is evil or wickedness. And again, that's plural. It says in high places, but the reality is they're all in high places. These are spiritual entities. They're all in the plural. And they've been plaguing humans since the Garden of Eden, even until now. And again, the purpose of the 4 craftsmen, or the 4 craftsmen's anointings, I like to call it, that Zechariah talks about, is to deal with these 4 ancient evil spirits as they are manifested in the world today. These 4 ancient evil spirits are the cause of troubles, most of the troubles in human life. And what I want to deal with today is the second one, authorities, powers. Now, this particular one is in human history has been called by a bunch of different names, and most of you will recognize the names if you've read the Bible, if you're familiar with antiquity, ancient history at all, to any degree. Ashtoreth is one name that this one goes by. Astarte, Diana, Inanna, Venus, Aphrodite, Queen of Heaven, the Whore of Babylon, Ishtar. I think I may have already said that. Now, these ancient evil spirits are responsible for human beings idolizing, worshiping, among other things, sexual immorality, sexual perversion. These are the spirits that cause humans to worship and adore pornography, let's say gender confusion, gender mutilation. These are the ancient evil spirits that cause humans to worship and idolize intoxication by alcohol and drugs, cause people to idolize and worship the occult. And of course, human beings play a part by agreeing. But once we start agreeing, we are driven and pushed by these powers. If you've ever had to deal with sin, and we all have, sometimes people say, "Well, I just can't help it," even though you're trying to change. Well, that's probably a fairly good indication that the thing is being demonically driven, and that you have a problem on your hands. It's not like smoking cigarettes where you can just stop anytime you want. These are the situations that are demonically driven, that are spiritually driven by these dark forces, and it's a different situation, and you have to go at it differently. In the same way, you have to go at it spiritually. In the same way, we can't legislate morality. We can't legislate goodness into a country when there are spiritual, let's say, antagonistic spiritual forces that are hell-bent on destroying humans and destroying their world. And that's what this is all about. It's about spiritual battles, and it's about spiritual warfare. And that's basically what I want to speak about. Now, I'm not going to go much further than this. This is just kind of like an introductory little clip. And I want to end by reading an original poem. All the poems that I read here are my own. And this one is called The Dry Soul. Clawing like a zombie to escape the grave come the doubts, the fears. A tick feeding. So fear, hate, despair sucks the soul dry of life and makes us less. Through habit, we call that tick friend. So comfortable, so normal. It has always been there like a dependable friend. That fear, despair, hate, anger, envy, loathing, whatever is your cup of tea. That poison ivy itch at the back of the soul. Ready comes forth without bidding. Drip, drip, drip. Our yearnings drop into a sea of tradition, a sea of what was and has been and promises to be. Oh, my dry soul, who will rescue from this despond that is my friend, my soulmate, my destiny, I myself have defined. Loved and nourished, lifelong I have, with help from friends and family, deep, deep, deep. In the sea of lost memories, my hope has died. Through the winter of my hidden discontent, a sprig may arise, shriveled, pale green yellowed from the night. Who will nourish me? Cries and screams for help in the night echo from the lonely cavern of my heart. Deep in the hollows of the earth, my soul is lost. Deep darkness again, my soulmate with talons, my soul it drags down. This my friend from times past in my anguish. I cry out to him who is called faithful and true, who leads the armies of heaven. On his robe and on his thigh he has a name inscribed, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth, and that with my own eyes I shall behold him, the one who is the Almighty, the Alpha and the Omega, the bright and morning star. Until next time.